Hello. Hey, Nikki. Hello, everyone. This is Cherie coming at you from California in the United States. Today is a Friday, October 31st, 2025, and I'm here with my friend Nikki, and we are going to be announcing our NaNoWriMo 2025 projects. And NaNoWriMo starts tomorrow. All right, so Nikki, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Nikki. I run a YouTube channel called Artist Archives. I am a playwright and a writer in various other mediums. And yeah, I'm really excited to be doing Nano for the first time in literal years.
Yeah, so
Nano
Nikki,
2.0.
yes, Nano 2.0 because the original Nano had problems and kind of closed, but now they're just getting it back to its roots, which was just supporting writers to complete a novel in the month of November. Now, I'm a screenwriter, so every November I work really heavily on a screenplay. And today I have brought some ideas on what I should select, and Nikki can help me decide what to select. So I'll just get into that right away.
Great. I'm so
Now,
excited.
let me also just preface this that I want to write a no budget feature that I can actually shoot within
Mm.
the year. Because I've been working on this other feature it's going to cost a lot of money, and I just need to do something now because I've been doing pre-production and it's not very creative, and I just want to make something that's like easier. So
Yeah, fair.
making a film's never easy, but what I'm going to do is use the rules of the Dogma 25 movement. Now, there was a Danish movement called Dogma 95 back in 1995, and they had all these rules. And it was basically just to get to the basics of filmmaking and not using like explosions and guns and all the stuff that like American movies do. So, but the Dogma 25 rules are a little different. So I'm going to read the rules and then I'm going to tell you
Mm.
what my ideas were. So there are 10 rules. Number one is the script has to be original and handwritten by the director. So, like, I'm going to be like writing in a binder,
Okay.
basically. At least a half of the movie has to have no dialogue. So that's getting back to the roots of filmmaking is a cinematic medium and you try to show instead of tell. And I'm happy about that because I grew up doing silent Super 8 movies. So I just
Mhm.
like the visual element of
Nice.
that. The
Hmm.
third
Hmm.
rule is the internet is off limits in all creative processes. So like I can't be doing research, I guess. And yeah,
Oh, okay, that's
it's like,
tough.
yes. So that's why when we get to the things you'll see. Um, Number four, only accept funding with no content altering conditions. So basically, you have final cut, not someone else who's providing the money. Um, Number five, no more than 10 people behind the camera. I've never
Mhm.
worked with a crew that's bigger than like four or five, so that's
Yeah,
not a
yeah. I'm
problem.
like, that's doable.
The film must be shot where the narrative takes place. Okay, so this is going to take place in Santa Cruz, and it's going to show off Santa Cruz.
Hmm.
Number seven, makeup cannot be used to manipulate faces or bodies unless it's part of the narrative. So, like, no making up monster masks, I guess. And if you're not a character that would normally just be wearing makeup, no makeup. Number eight, everything related to the film production must be rented, borrowed, found, or used. So that avoids having to buy new things in order to make the movie. Um,
Yeah, I quite
yes,
like that one actually. That's a
again,
good
that
one.
keeps in touch with the no budget thing. Um,
Yeah, that's good.
Number nine, the film must be made within a year, and my goal is to be able to submit it to the Santa Cruz Film Festival, and the deadline is the end of July. So that
Oh, okay.
will, if if I can do this, it will be made
Yeah, that's
within a
quick.
year. And then number 10, create the film as if it were your last. So it has to be important. It has to be like, this is what I
Mm.
want to talk about.
Okay.
So that leads into my
Okay.
ideas. So the first idea I had was shooting at Roaring Camp, which is it's a tourist attraction, but it's an authentic logging town that's in the area. And they have trains and they have, little telegraph things, and they show how things were done in the old days. And I was thinking of doing something that contrasted um, modern times with the olden times and posing the question, have we really progressed? Is what we're doing even good? Like maybe we should go back to some of these things that we
Okay.
used to do in
Okay.
the past. The second idea was
Hang
just,
on for 1 second.
yes.
You froze very briefly. Could you like repeat the end? So it's like an old town, and then what's the contrast between the modern and the old?
Yeah, just like the modern, based on the things that you see throughout the script, it would be
Hmm.
comparing and contrasting how we live
Right,
today
right.
versus how they lived in the past, and
Got you.
the posing the question, which way is better? you know.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
The second one I had was just a blip, and I haven't developed it at all, but it was just kind of funny about a psychic who
Hmm.
wants to stop doing readings. And through various things that happen, she has to continue giving readings. It's like she
Mm,
can't get away
fun.
from it. But then
Yeah,
a couple of days ago, I got this idea, and this is the one I'm actually really leaning towards.
yeah.
And it's someone who it's going to be me playing the lead, so it's a female
Cool.
character who needs to get from point A to point B. So like from Santa Cruz to over the hill in San Jose, which is Silicon Valley area, but
Mm,
it experiences issues with each of the transportation modes that she tries to use. Like
okay.
the first thing is the car won't start and she doesn't have the money or the time to take it to the shop. And then it just kind of progresses from there. And the reason I want to do this is because it will be structured like this old movie I saw about a year ago called The Ballad of a Soldier, a Russian film. And it's this young man who has to go, who is given leave to go see his mother, fix her roof, and then come back to the service. And
Hmm.
he's only given a certain amount of time. And
Mm,
all the transportation modes are, like because of the war, it's hard for him to get there.
right, right, right,
And
right. With
at
this,
each
yeah.
stop, he interacts with different characters and he learns like new things that kind of
Hmm.
accumulate. And so, what I would want to do, oh, and by the way, at the end, he does get to his mom's house, but it's the end of the trip, so he can't even fix her roof, I don't think, and he has to go back to the service. So
Oh
it's just like he
no.
gets to hug
Okay.
her, and that's like,
Oh no.
but what I want to do is show all the issues that people, especially Americans, but a lot of the world are having right now, based on who she's interacting with, whether it be
Mm,
like healthcare, whether it be like homelessness, the cost of living, all these
mm,
things that are going on right now that are really hard for people, and kind of doing a commentary on it as she's trying to make her way over to Silicon Valley, which is like one of the richest places in the world, you know.
okay. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just, for me, that structure, I would make it easier for me to write within a month.
For
And
sure. Yeah,
it would
yeah,
show all these issues that people are having these days.
yeah.
So that's the one I'm leaning towards.
Funny.
But what do you think as far as, the three?
Oh, okay. So, one quick question actually. So, in the final idea, where is she traveling to? Where's she trying to get to?
She's trying to get to Silicon Valley, to San Jose, and there's a MacGuffin. It's like she has to go to uh, like a funeral service, or her brother's dying, or something like that. There's a
Okay, okay,
reason she
okay.
has to get there that day.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So I really like this. Okay, so I'm in two minds. I like the last one because I think it's the one you're most passionate about, and
yeah,
that last rule was a story that like you have to tell, basically. Like, why am
Yes.
I telling the story now? So I feel like that leans in very nicely. But I can't lie, I'm also very intrigued by number two. I think that could be really fun
The
to
psychic
explore.
one?
Yeah,
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 I think it would be a good character, and maybe I can weave that character into the
yeah.
journey one, or just
Mm.
or save it for another time or something if I decide to go with the
Also
psychic.
that, also that. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards those two because I get the strongest sense of character from those two. I mean, I
Yes.
like all three, but those two, I'm like, oh, okay. There's like someone interesting that we can follow. But then, would you also play the psychic, or would you just play in this third film?
If the psychic is put into the third film, no, I would not.
Mm.
Um, but if it's just by itself, well, yeah, if it were just by itself, then I would be playing the psychic. Yeah.
Okay, great, great, great. Okay. Oh, yeah, because I want to. I think, to be honest, I think you should go with what you're most passionate about. And I feel like
Yes.
that's number three.
Well, I'm
I think
just
that's number three.
hope it isn't like recency bias because I just came up with the idea a couple of days ago.
Fair enough.
But it is more structured already. Like it has a beginning, a middle, and
Mm.
end, and I know where it's
You know
kind of
roughly
going. With the
where,
psychic one, I don't know
yeah, where
where
the
it's
character's
going.
trying to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and we're starting tomorrow, so
Yes. Yeah. All right.
no,
So
fair.
I think you've made up my mind for me too. Yes, I am most passionate
I
about that
think you're
one.
excited about that one.
All
I
right.
think it makes sense.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So Nikki,
But I want to see them all at some point.
what are you going to be working on, or do you have suggestions
Okay.
so we can figure it out?
Yeah, so I brought two suggestions. So, suggestion number one is I have been revisiting a little bit this year a book that I wrote many, many, many years ago. It's a fantasy novel. And I sort of wrote a few drafts and just sort of left it because I got very, very busy and like moved on from it. And what I was thinking to do, a bit of context, I have quite a limited NaNoWriMo time. I'm really working with like about a third of the time. So I'm
Okay.
gonna give myself like decent goals within it. But the part one of the book, I feel like I need to completely revamp the world building, and I'd like to start rewriting that. So that's option number one. Is like, do I want to revamp this like fantasy novel? So it's like a biblical allegory, and all the creatures. There's lots of creatures and like alternative worlds, and that's kind of the gist of that book. So that's project number one. Project number two is that recently I've been toying with the idea of putting together a few short stories and sort of getting back into that medium of writing and maybe starting to look at a collection of short stories. So maybe giving myself the challenge to write two or three of them. And they would be exploring human connection. Most likely, I'm thinking each short story might follow like a duet, maybe two or three people and how they find each other in sort of like unlikely places and scenarios. And then they're kind of forced to grow or change through that connection. So those are the two things at the moment. And I don't know, I think I'm interested in both. Maybe there is one I'm leaning towards, but maybe I won't say it just to see. I'm curious as to what you would say.
Okay. Well, I think in keeping with NaNoWriMo, you're supposed to work on a new project technically. So that would be your short story one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for me personally, like I'm more interested in your fantasy novel.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
But
Why would you say the fantasy novel?
well, I kind of have a bias. I'm not a huge fan of short stories. Although I
Fair.
have to say, short stories make good films because they're contained and they can
Mm,
usually be done within a 2 hour period. Um, and so maybe these stories are something that could be,
yeah,
separated off into movies. Um,
yeah.
and I do really like fantasy and I like allegory.
Mm.
And I'm still getting through his Dark Materials. I don't know if you're familiar with
Okay,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But that's real big fantasy. And then like Harry Potter and all that. I love that kind of stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I love
but
that.
but which one are you leaning towards? Because I think either's great.
Okay, so I'm kind of glad you said that because I was leaning towards the fantasy novel as well. And I was like, I really want to tackle this before the end of the year and start like rethinking a lot about world building stuff and rewriting those things that I wrote literally like a decade ago now. But I'm still really passionate about the characters and the world and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm quite glad you said that. I think it might be Project Fantasy time.
Okay. And so are you just working on the first section? Like how
I
much time do
think
you have? Because I know you're
first section.
traveling.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, so it's I would say normal NaNoWriMo is about 30 days.
Mhm.
I think I have about a third of that, like between 10 to like 12 days is what we're working with. So if I can get that part one replotted and begun, that would be a really great process.
Okay, great. And then we can read each
Yeah.
other's work.
There we go. Oh my gosh. Ah, so nervous.
Okay, so that's it for the video, and we will touch base again. We're gonna do either one or two lives, depending on if I've never done the what did I call it? Stream something
Oh,
stream
the StreamYard.
the StreamYard. I've never done that, so I have
Mm.
to look into that. But if we do a live in the middle of the month, maybe we could do a like a along kind of thing where people can, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
for an
yeah,
hour
definitely.
or two or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Keep
and
an eye
then
out. We'll
one at the
post
end of the
dates
month.
and times.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
do you know when you want to do the next one, or should we just touch base later on that?
Let's touch base and then do like an official announcement. Because
Okay.
I don't want to say something and then it's like the wrong day.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and we will see you in the next video. Happy writing.
Woo! Bye.